story still breaks the heart. Back in 2018, 13-year-old Ochanya of Benue State endured years of abuse, trauma and loss. Her death from complication linked to that abuse shook the country. 7 years later, this pain is still alive. The case that many hoped would bring justice now feels like a wound reopened. The suspect still free and the family still waiting. The brother of late Ochanya spoke recently. He said it is traumatizing, that they've been traumatized. He asked if she were from a powerful family, would this delay happen? On social media, the movement reignites under Justice for Ochanya as Nigeria demands accountability, not just for her, but for every child failed by the system. The reaction is viewed.
The Benue State High Court has officially reopened the case following renewed public pressure and a Change.org petition with over 10,000 signatures and celebrity involvement. The Benue State Ministry of Justice confirmed the case had been reopened, citing fresh applications filed by government prosecutors based on new grounds and renewed evidence. Your viscovaginal fistula, we know what it is. It's an abnormal opening between the bladder and vagina, causing uncontrollable urine leakage. While most cases develop from prolonged labor without skilled medical care, tragic instances like Ochanya's case can result from sexual violence and repeated physical trauma. I wanted to just highlight really what she suffered for months in a hospital before her passing. I mean, the police or the autopsy report had revealed that she might have died from natural causes. I think that's one of the reasons that they said that they acquitted her uncle. But what about the son, who they say is at large at this moment in Lagos, pursuing a music career? I believe that you, before the segment, you interviewed her older brother. Please, your thoughts on this story.
Okay, so thank you. And OG, this is such an emotive story, and it's very difficult to not take, to not feel the pain that Ochanya and her family must have gone through in the last few years. And I'm glad that finally, hopefully, justice will be served in this case, because a lot of people tried, I must say, when this case first came to public light. Now, the brother has said that there was a lot of intimidation and threats to the family when they tried to seek justice in the courts. We've also seen now that thankfully the Benue State government has reopened the case based on fresh evidence and, of course, responding to public advocacy. And so we will follow the case and see how this goes through. Hopefully this time, the son, that's her cousin, Victor, would be made to come and answer for the role that he played. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to capture Ochanya's voice, telling the experience of what happened or what transpired. That hopefully should be should act as evidence in this new case. Court, yeah. I know when it comes to rape and sexual abuse, it's often argued as to how difficult it is to prove, because there has to be some medical proof and the likes. And so sometimes the case can be drawn out if we're speaking legally. But in terms of the face of it, I'm hoping that there will be a more thorough investigation and all those culpable will be brought to book. But even more than that, OG, because we have a lot of Ochanyas in Nigeria, is how can we prevent this from happening? When you look at that, then we look at all those who can be said to be complicit. There's a culture of silence and disgrace on the victim rather than the perpetrators, where the victim is told to keep quiet. In this case, Ochanya was said to have been told that she was threatened by the man and his son, that if she speaks out about this, then she would be, they would kill her family. And we hear many young people talk about this. So those who protect the perpetrators, the auntie herself, who as a wife and a mother shielded her husband and her son from facing, the sister who was said to have reported the case in the first instance to her dad, neighbors who might have observed something but chose to look away. OJ, we see this a lot of times happening. In other parts of the world, we see responsibility by neighbors who call the attention of police and security operatives when they notice something onto what's happening with their neighbors. Why did the neighbors keep quiet? The schools. If you are a school and you notice a difference in a child coming to school, you should raise an alarm. Relatives, other religious institutions. The man is a knight of a religious organization. I'm glad that they've now come out to say that he's been suspended. But why didn't they take action before this renewed call was made? He remained a knight until 7 years later, when the justice for Ochanya came out, the police and other those complice. It reminds me finally of the case that happened in Lagos, and I keep bringing it because this is where justice was served.
Yes.
In the case of Adegboye Adeneko, who defiled a 2-year-old in his school. He was a supervisor in the school. And because of the Lagos State Special Offences Court, he was able to be brought to book, and the school tried to protect him. And this is why I said that those who are complicit should also answer for this.
Yes.
There are many Ochanyas in Nigeria. I hope and I pray that we will not fail our next generation of both girls and boys by taking action and ensuring that justice is served.
Dr. Abati, 2 questions, please. I know you want to add your comment. Can this video serve as evidence and the fact that, the case had been tried before?
Thank you for mentioning the matter evidence. There's no statute of limitation with regard to criminal cases. Rape is a criminal case, it's felony under, the laws of Nigeria. I think section 256. But the problem is how you provide the evidence. The Edward Ogbanje, I think that's the Andrew Ogbanje. He was able to escape because they said the case could not be proven beyond reasonable doubt. For more than 20 years, civil society groups have been arguing that section of the Evidence Act has to be reviewed because the Evidence Act in Nigeria, with regard to rape, talks about proof.
Yes.
And the proof is so embarrassing. They will have to say you come and prove penetration, that the person escaped into the internal anatomy of the female Homo sapien beyond the labia majora. Who is going to prove that? How are you going to prove that? Section 211 of the Evidence Act also says, look, the accused person can interrogate the victim to defend her conduct.
Yes.
Not to say that she's the one who has been enticing them. That's the madness that you have in the law. We have to take a second look at that. We have to take a second look at how to enforce the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. We have to take a look at the Child Rights Act and its proper enforcement. It's because all of that is not in place. That's why you will have the criminals, the accused persons, that's the proper word. That's the man himself and the son. That's why they could escape. And it's the woman that will get the lighter sentence of 5 months that she was negligent. No child, no daughter, no young girl should be abused in this country.
Well said.
Nobody should be subjected to sexual violence.
Well said.
And that is the point that we should make.
Well
so the state can revisit the matter. There's no statute of limitation with criminal matters. And I was telling the gentleman that came on the program, John Ame, that the family too can sue for damages.
All right. Very well said, Dr.
After all, they are the ones who have lost their loved ones.
Very well
said. While the rapists are walking free.
Thank you for that. Well, I hope that this case will set a precedence for the justice system on how to try rape cases. Justice for Ochanya.